Hello, everybody. Welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy, and I'm here with my husband, Noel. He's in the background running our cameras, doing our graphics. Welcome into the New Seller Surge Raid Train. This is one of my favorite nights each month because this is the raid train where we showcase 6 new sellers, and they get to do their thing and learn all about all the buttons and all the things on Whatnot. And it is a very short and sweet raid train. 3 hours is all it is. So the time that some sellers do one show, we're going to showcase 6 new sellers in that short amount of time. So it's a fast but great train. Let me tell you a little bit about it, and then we're going to take a minute so we can go and see who all of the sellers are. Let me get a giveaway going, though. We are doing a CEO affirmation card, which is my kind of go-to giveaway. So that is what is up there. And so let's talk about the new seller surge. So we are on, goodness, month 9 or 10 of this. We've been doing it. Thank you for sharing the show. Month 9 or 10 of the new seller surge. And what it is, I'm sorry, my love, what's going on? Okay. And so what it is a chance for the new sellers to get some experience, get those jitters out of being, the first time being on a raid train. Now, not all of the sellers tonight, this is not their first time on a raid train. So some may have had, yes, the hand signals, wise old bag lady. He's going like this. I'm like, what does this mean? I don't know what that one means. He's like, don't tap your pen. It's picking up in the microphone. Okay. Anyways, some of them may have experienced a raid train before, but I've designed this one to just kind of be that introductory and to go along with one of the things I always preach. If you come to my Friday talk shows, you know I preach about trying new things. There is no way that we can know what works or doesn't work in our business if we're not trying out different things. So this raid train, new sellers have to have 1,000 or less sales. So before they hit their 1,000 mark, and some of them you may see tonight are just over 1,000, but it's when they sign up. And for this month, some of these sellers signed up back in like November and December for this train. So in that time, they may have gotten that, exceeded 1,000. But when they signed up, they had less than 1,000. So they have to have less than 1,000 sales. This cannot be their first show. So they need to at least know, like, I can get on camera and I can do this, right? The other things they have to do, you started in December. Awesome. Well, congratulations and welcome to Whatnot. The other things they need to do is, if they're normally a seller that does listed or pre-listed items, they need to do one random item. They need to get that feel for, okay, I'm used to pre-listing. What does it feel like to do a random item? What does that mean for like keeping track of that? And then, shipping it. Do I put somebody's name on it? Do I put a number? So just kind of thinking through that process. Then if the sellers are normally random people, they need to pre-list something. It doesn't have to be a lot, but they need to try doing it the opposite way. Because as a business, we can't say one way is better than the other unless we try both and decide which one really works for us, right? The other requirement for our new sellers tonight is they have to run one item at $1. It does not have to be an expensive item. This isn't about making a lot of money off that item. It's not about it being a banger. It is about getting over the fear of putting $1 on an item and actually hitting start auction. That's a huge thing that a lot of people are really afraid of. You see those charts and graphs all the time. Oh, if you sell it for $1, you only make 50 cents. And you know what? There's some truth to that. But it makes people so afraid to even try that they just, rule it out to begin with. So one of the requirements is that they all have to run just one thing at $1. They can have a pen and run it at $1. It may or may not sell. How do you, I missed the chat. Hold on. Let me go back up. I just saw it come up. How do you get on the train list for new sellers for future trains? If you are interested, I have a couple of spots for March. Just DM me and I will send you a sign up. As of about an hour ago, I think I had 2, possibly 3 open spots for March. Then in April, we are switching this train up completely. So I'm still going to have a new seller train, but we're going to do it different. We're nearing that year mark. It's time to change it up, give it a refresh. So March is going to be the same as what you see tonight. April's going to be a little bit different. I'm still kind of working through, hi Brittany, still working through all of those ideas in my head to figure exactly what I want it to look like moving forward as of April. So back to the dollar start. They have to try one thing at $1. It doesn't have to be expensive. It's just mainly getting over the fear. All right, we got about 40 seconds left on that giveaway. I'm sorry, my love, please tell me what you're trying to tell me. All right, let's see here. What am I missing? Jilly Bear, you are very welcome. We're about to talk about all of the sellers here in just a second. All right. He always tells, my husband sits back there, in case you don't know, he sits back here, just in my line of vision, and he directs me if I'm missing something in the chat. He is like a, TV producer back there giving me all the little tips. Oh, thank you so much, Brittany. We got that at this really cool primitive store. He needs a whiteboard. I thought I had one. I'm just ordered another one off Amazon because I cannot find the one that I had. Bama Thrifting Sisters, what a coincidence. Congratulations on that first giveaway, y'all. This is one of our new sellers tonight, so we're going to talk about them in just a second. Hello, Southern Charm.
I need her to pay attention. Hello, Southern Charm and Brittany and everybody else.
Okay, so let's talk about the sellers. Now that you know who, kind of what the rules are, let's talk about who's going to be on tonight. So we're starting with this show. In 15 minutes, we're going to go raid the first person. The first person is Basement Brats Art _ BBA 2021. So let's take a look at that profile. There we go. So this is Rochelle. Basement Brats Art _ BBA 2021. And let's scroll down a little bit. And Arts and Prints. So this is a handmade. This is a creative seller here. So Miss Rochelle is a handmade seller. I am not really exactly sure what she's going to bring tonight, so I'm super excited to see what she brings for us. And what I ask of all of you is to just share the love. Show everybody, tap some hearts on the screen, say encouraging things in the chat. If you're so inclined, you see things you like, obviously buy stuff, but that's not required. We're here for support. If any of our sellers are struggling at all, then give them some encouraging words, help them out. All right, our next one, that's at 6. At 6:20, we're going to go see Boho Vintage MKE. So Boho Vintage is Mr. Brandon. And he says he has a few problems. He likes pretty things. We all have this problem, Brandon? All of us, we're with you. We feel that. And you like to shop for pretty things. All right, let's scroll down and see what category Brandon is in mainly. Vintage decor. So this is one of our own in vintage decor. This is a cross-category train. So anybody in any category is always welcome to join this train. So I'm hoping to see some really cool antiques tonight, or vintage tonight. All right, up next at 6:40, we're going to Jilly Bear's Thrifted Finds. Now, this is Julie, and we messaged back and forth with Julie a while ago. Really sweet lady. Scroll on down a little bit. Normally sells in the vintage decor category, which y'all, this train is probably, while I say it's cross category, it's probably a little vintage heavy just because I'm mainly in the vintage category. So those are the people that see me more often. However, every now and then we are able to get out of our little bubble and recruit some other people. So this is Jilly Bear's Thrifted Finds. So we're going to get a chance to see some more really cool vintage. And then at 7, we're going to go see Heather Lip 09. Miss Heather is obviously Heather, and it says her grandma gave her the vintage and antique bug when she was just a little kid. No cross country, I know. This is another wonderful vintage decor seller right here. I love some of these thumbnails. So there it is. We're going to have 3 back-to-back vintage, but maybe she does some books too. Let's scroll down a little bit. Hello, Heather. Look at us talking about you. So vintage decor, some cool stuff. I'm looking forward to everybody tonight. So then at 7:20, after Miss Heather, we are going to go see Bama Thrifting Sisters. I'm just guessing Alabama. I could be wrong, but that's what makes me think. Love that picture up at the top. That is so sweet. 3 sisters, 1 vintage passion. So 3 sisters from Alabama, united by a love for hunting down vintage treasures. All right. Yes, Alabama. So another vintage seller here. There we go. And it looks like a few of our vintage sellers are also going to be on the Golden Goose train coming up soon. So y'all, there you go. Tomorrow, not only can you see them tonight, not only will you see them tonight, but you'll also get to see them tomorrow if you go and do some bookmarks and follow them. Thanks for the message, Southern Charm. We'll catch up with you soon. Good luck. All right. And at 7:40, our last seller of the night is Kerr Smith, 68. Kerr Smith, 68. So this is Miss Carrie. So maybe it's Kerr Smith instead of Kerr Smith. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. But her name is Carrie, and she likes selling pretty things just like the rest of us do. Let's go on down a little bit. Everything else category. This is so mysterious to me. The everything else category is like, ooh, what am I going to get, right? So this is going to be an exciting way to wrap up the train tonight. Let's see who's going to get that next giveaway. Chieftain Fish, congratulations. That is going to you. Thanks for being here. Okay, so after Kerr Smith or Carrie Smith, after her, you're going to come back to me, and that's when I'm going to take my spot. I'm going to do some selling tonight. I have pre-listed a lot of my stuff, so you can always look at that. But please, I always reserve mine for the very end because I want you focused and spending your money with our new sellers. So that's why I am at the very end. At 8 o'clock, you'll come back and see me. We're going to do a couple of giveaways, have some fun, got some stuff to sell. And that's going to be our rate train for the night. So I'm going to be hanging out. We're going to be modding, myself and my husband. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And taking some notes, and we'll kind of wrap up at 8 o'clock. We'll see you back here, but don't go anywhere. These new sellers have 20 minutes. That's not a lot of time, but it's just enough time to get the feel of the rate train, get some of those jitters out, press those buttons, try some new things. So be supportive. Tap that screen, give them hearts. If you see that they're struggling, then maybe they're like, oh, I'm not too sure what I'm like, how to do this. Give them some direction in the chat. This is about community. And you know what I really love about this is we have 8 minutes. So I'm good. I'm checking the time. What I really love about this is on Tuesday, the last Tuesday of every month, I do the Big Kahuna's Rate Train with CG Boomerang Echo. This is for the experienced sellers, the sellers that have been around a long time. Then the very next day I come here and we do the new seller surge rate train. And I love it being full circle like that because all the sellers that you see tonight, very, very good possibility that any one of them could be on the Big Kahunas within the next year. Very good possibility. Like I said, we've been doing this train for 8 or 9 months now, maybe even longer. It's since early last summer in 2024. And I watched some of the sellers who are on this train back last summer and where they're at now, and they have flourishing whatnot businesses. And I'm not saying it's because of this train. I'm just saying they were on the train, and I enjoy watching them because they were on this train. When I see their names, it catches my eye, and I'm like, oh, how are they doing? What's happening today? Rochelle will be the Big Kahuna. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it is our 2025. Thank you. Thank you, Pampas. Yes, I'm a little off tonight. You never know. Apparently your tribe has arrived. Awesome. You never know where your business is going to go. I tell a story frequently. We have some time, so I can tell you a story or two before we get moving here. I tell a story frequently about when I first started on Whatnot. I watched this seller, and it is a seller that does a talk show. I will tell you, it's Green 13. I don't know if any of you have ever watched him. He's amazing, Sunday morning talk show. But we used to watch Green 13 religiously every Sunday morning. And this is when I was first starting on Whatnot. And I would look at my husband, I would say, if I could just get a shout out by him. Do you guys have those sellers, those ones that you watch now and you're like, man, without paying them, without doing the sponsorships or anything, you're just like, man, if I can get a shout out, that would mean so much. Like it's just kind of like a turning point in my Whatnot journey, right? That was Green 13 for me. So the very first shout out I got, if you don't know, I do business and tax talks. I am a CPA, so I do feel qualified to give tax information or tax advice. I had a tax show scheduled. I've been doing these almost for the whole time I've been on Whatnot. And somebody in the chat made fun of it. Somebody in Green 13's chat, and this was a long time ago, it was well over a year ago, puts in the chat, almost close to 2 years ago, puts in the chat something about, oh, look at this person trying to give tax advice. It was a very snippy comment. And I replied, hey, that's me, and I'm a CPA. Like, I've been doing this for 30 years. Like, come see the show before you say something bad about it. And Green 13, Jeremy, called my name out, but not in a good way. He said, I see something with Zoe's Treasures. We're not going to have no drama here. And I'm like, oh, that's not what I wanted. You should, Zimpress. And I'm like, oh, that's not what I wanted. And I felt so defeated. And it's just kind of that, that feeling in the pit of your stomach. I'm like, oh, well, you know what? I stuck around. You keep going. And you know what we do every Sunday now? I'm on a podcast with Green 13 every Sunday now, along with I Love Discounts. This is full circle. You never know what's going to happen. You never know where you're going to go. And a new seller raid train is just the beginning. It's just the first steps in these people's whatnot careers. Not that this is what's going to like propel them. He did it. It wasn't him that really said anything bad. He was just controlling his chat like any good seller should do. And it took us about 6 or 7 months, maybe a little bit longer after that, until we started to get to know each other. And then he actually invited me on to co-host. So Penny, you got that giveaway. Congratulations. So it wasn't really him. And eventually, like I said, eventually we got to know each other, and he is a wonderful person. Yep. My first intro to CG was not great. I did all the noob things. See, you never know. So don't worry about it. We stumble, we make mistakes, things happen, and you're like, oh, what just happened? Just keep plugging along. You never know what. One day, you're gonna come February of next year, February of 2027. You're gonna sit there and you're gonna be like, wow, I can't believe where I was last year. Look at how far I've come. And you know what? You're going to have a whole community supporting you and cheering you on. And that's what's great about Whatnot. And I know I'm just rambling. We've got about 4 minutes before we raid, so I'm just kind of taking up some time.
Hello, Zimpress.
Hello, Zimpress.
And Kimmy.
I love Jeremy, me too. He is one of the first chat show. Well, no, I can't say the first chat show. I watched What Liz Likes and
The Sassy Vintage Chick.
The Sassy Vintage Chick, and who is, her name's escaping me, Nicole. Her Whatnot name is escaping.
Thrifty Druid Nicole.
Thrifty Druid Nicole. Those are my first three. Those are the three that I watched like religiously when I first started on Whatnot. And then Jeremy kind of came into the picture a little bit after that. If you guys have not watched any of them, they are all wonderful. I highly recommend all of them still to this day. They are still great. All right, we have 3 minutes. I'm going to spend this last 3 minutes just to tell you about something in case you haven't heard about Ledger to Leadership. So I've already mentioned I am an accountant, I'm a CPA, and I do tax and accounting shows, business talk shows. So every Friday morning from 7 to 9, I do a business and a tax show. We do the first hour is a business topic, the second hour is a tax topic. It is a series. I already have the whole year planned out, all 52 shows. They kind of build on each other, but all of them can be watched either alone or you can come back week after week and just kind of keep growing that knowledge and expanding on it. Everything we do is also on YouTube, so you can always go to YouTube and see what you've missed. And then in addition, starting Monday night, this coming up Monday night, I am doing an accounting course for resellers. If you are a reseller and you want to get your hands around your accounting records, what do you even need to do? What do you need to record? How do you record it? What's important? What's not important? How do you create a financial statement? How do you use this information? Like what's good about this information? Why should you even do it? Why do you do it now and not just at tax time? All that stuff. We're going to discuss that over a period of 12 weeks. So come and see me on Monday nights. If you can't make it, if Monday nights is like, man, my kid has gymnastics, I can't do that. It is going to be on YouTube, so you can always catch up on that. We have a little over 100 people bookmarked. I know bookmarks don't mean that's who's showing up for the show, but I do highly expect probably a good 40 or 50 people there on Monday night, and it is going to be a good show. Again, very basic, really geared towards what the reseller needs. Not a lot of mumbo jumbo about accounting stuff that doesn't make sense. So we have less than a minute where we're going to go raid our first seller. I'm going to do the rundown really quick, pull the giveaway, and we're going to raid. We're going to go see Basement Brats Art, BBA 2021. Then we're going to Boho Vintage MKE, Jilly Bears Thrifted Finds, Heather Lip 09, Bama Thrifting Sisters, and Kersmith 68, and then back to me. Y'all show them the love. Support these new sellers. If you can't support financially, words of encouragement in the chat, hearts on the screen, sharing their shows, all that good stuff that we do as a community. That's what this is about. Let me pull this last giveaway winner. And that's Anthony 6990. With that, we're going to go rate our first person. And we will see you all in just a little while. All right.